Wow, what an incredible chapter of One Piece. The events that unfolded have left me completely stunned and questioning everything. With so much to unpack, let's dive right in and start discussing this mind-boggling chapter. The dialogue between Cobra and the Gorosei and Imu intensifies in this week's chapter as we witness the aftermath of Cobra's bold and unconventional questioning about Lily and the mystery of D. However, the stakes are raised even higher as Cobra is left reeling from a shocking revelation, the sight of someone sitting on the empty throne. In a moment of utter disbelief, Cobra speaks out against the idea of a singular individual wielding such immense power over the world. And the forthcoming segment is intriguing as Im addresses Cobra in the third person, thereby demonstrating a pronounced sense of self-importance and distancing himself from the common folk while asserting his superiority overall. This effective portrayal positions Im at the pinnacle of society, surpassing even royalty itself. As Cobra stood there, Im in front of him spoke. Im has two matters to discuss with you, he says. Additionally, there is something Im wishes to ask you directly, Cobra. Cobra's mind raced as he tried to place the identity of this mysterious speaker. It was only after a moment that the realization hit him like a bolt of lightning. This was no ordinary person. This was Im. He recognizes his name. And Cobra's insinuation strongly suggests that Im may have been among the initial 20 monarchs. And then this chapter confirms what we've been saying all along. The D actually refers to those we once opposed back in the old days, so it's 100% safe to say that the D was this clan or group of people who took upon the name of D to oppose the newly formed world government at the time and their sudden rise to power. It's worth considering the possibility that Im may have been one of the 20 rulers at the time, which raises some intriguing questions. Could it be that someone utilized the immensely powerful Api Nomi immortality surgery on them? That would explain how this person continued to rule from behind the scenes even after 800 years have passed. We're given some illuminating details about the notorious poneglyphs. Im reveals that those individuals in recent times who bear the D in their name have been involved in certain events, yet remain oblivious to the significance of their own name. Evidently, this can be traced back to a blunder committed by Queen Lily 8 centuries ago. Had it not been for Lily's mistake on that fateful day, the artifacts we now recognize as the poneglyphs would not have been dispersed throughout the world. It's intriguing to note that Im attributes the spread of the poneglyphs to Queen Lily's mistake without necessarily blaming her for it right away and automatically marking her as a traitor. The spread of the poneglyphs is considered the worst calamity by Im, leading them to ponder whether Queen Lily's actions were truly an unintentional mistake or a deliberate scheme on her part. Before Im can finish, the Gorosei all pull out their guns. They are not fucking around. They are about that action. You're not gonna play with their names any longer. I'm so happy that during this chapter we see that the Gorosei are fighters. In order to determine if the letter was sent intentionally or mistakenly, he tells Cobra to speak the complete name of the sender of that letter left by the former monarch Queen Lily. At this juncture, Cobra is overcome with a sense of despair, realizing that the possibility of exiting the room unscathed and the possibility of him exiting alive is becoming hopeless. Having been wise to a multitude of distressing revelations, he now finds himself compelled to speak the full name of Queen Lily as demanded by Im, an action that will seal his fate. Sabo, lurking just around the corner, eavesdropped intently on the conversation and were stunned to hear the revelation of the name. It is precisely as it is written, Cobra says. The name of the empress who once ruled over Alabasta 800 years ago is none other than Nefertari D. Lily. What the fuck? The Nefertaris are part of the D? So this means Cobra has the D and Vivi has a D?
Pause!
It's apparent that Im was eagerly anticipating Cobra's reveal of her full name. While harboring suspicions about Queen Lily, Im was hesitant to brand her a traitor without evidence. The letter to her kingdom, signed by her own self with the initial of her enemies included, provided the proof that confirmed her treachery. I say Im is probably filled with rage because you can't see an expression on their face, but you can't imagine they're pissed, right? All you really see is his eyes slightly shift, and I can't read expressions off that alone. It's interesting to ponder the nature of the relationship between Im and Lily, given that he has only recently become aware of this vital detail regarding her identity. Perhaps he held her in high regard and was blind to her treachery. Im is most likely angry that one of the 20 monarchs had managed to devise such a scheme without his knowledge, causing him trouble even in the present day. He could be chilling peacefully, ruling as the absolute ruler of the world without anyone trying to uncover this great hidden mystery, but no. Now he has to deal with the huge headache of possibly being exposed to the world of who he is and what the world government actually is. In a split second, Im unleashes a dark, deadly arrow towards Cobra, striking him with a lethal force and leaving him no chance to evade or defend himself. Im has been shown to unleash devastating attacks on two separate occasions. The first, a nuclear strike that has the power to obliterate entire islands in an instant. And the most recent attack is equally alarming with his shadow arrows that seem to follow you, I think. I've seen a debate whether this attack came from the Gorosei or Im, and I want to say that I think it came from Im. Unless the guns the Gorosei all pulled out shoots dark arrows, then I'm going with Im possessing a devil fruit that allows him to shoot shit like this whenever he damn pleases. So I guess that's that. Im confirmed to be a devil fruit user. Subsequently, Sabo springs into action to defend and rescue Cobra, unleashing a formidable attack known as the Fire Fist Rook's Gambit, with the intention of subduing their adversaries. Now, standing beside the fallen Cobra, Sabo finds himself surrounded by the Gorosei and Im, with the Gorosei taking on different appearances, resembling shadowy beasts. It's possible that Oda is using these silhouettes to conceal their true forms, of course to heighten the anticipation of future battles. I'ma need to see you guys comment which Straw Hat against which Gorosei for the future battles. This development raises the engaging possibility that each member of the Gorosei is a zone user, perhaps even possessing a mythical or ancient zone fruit. We also see when the transponder snail snaps the photo that frames Sabo during this chapter too. Oda didn't have to show this, but I think it's nice that he did. Sabo converses with Cobra, all in that moment. Cobra recognizes Sabo as Luffy's elder brother. When Sabo inquires about Luffy, Cobra reveals his deep sense of gratitude towards the Straw Hat Captain, adding another layer of depth to the relationship, and Sabo tries to make a run for it against these monsters, all while trying to carry Cobra with him. It's worth noting that not only did the Gorosei undergo a transformation, but it appears that Im did as well, adding another intriguing element to the scene. With 6 silhouettes present in that panel, you just can't help but be curious about the appearance and identities of each individual. Oda is back at it again with these silhouettes. I swear, it's like they're the final bosses in One Piece or something. While I can't comment on the Gorosei, it's fascinating to observe that Im seems to have undergone a transformation as well. In fact, there are some interesting comments that I came across online that I just have to share with you guys. What if Im has a zone type devil fruit and the model for it was Sea Devil? The arrow we seen drawn in his chapter was drawn in the most stereotypical way, with the cartoonish devil tail. Im is probably the reason they're called devil fruits in the first place. I read these comments and started to think, shit, I can see this happening. I can totally see this play out. But what do you guys think? Cobra struggles to hold on to his life. He implores Sabo to deliver a message to Vivi and Luffy on his behalf. The message he wishes to convey is, we too are D. As Sabo listens to Cobra's final message, his expression betrays a mix of shock and nostalgia. Memories of his childhood with Luffy and Ace come flooding back, particularly a conversation where he had asked Ace and Luffy about the significance of the D in their name. At the time, Sabo was unaware of the letter's meaning, and Ace and Luffy were equally clueless. It was during this conversation that Ace tells Sabo, who cares about the D? You want the D? I'll give you it.
Hey, yo, you can't lie, that sounded sus.
Alright, I'll give you that one. So Ace says, let's put D in your name too. Sa-D-Bo. And from this day forward, Sa-D-Bo shall be remembered. Sa-D-Bo is struck by the same ominous arrow that had earlier pierced Cobra, causing them both to be wounded by the same deadly weapon and making it Cobra's second time being pierced. Cobra still continues to talk to Sabo even after this attack, by the way, which is impressive as fuck from an older, very ill man. His durability goes crazy, so you guys better put some respect on King Cobra's name. The last thing we see him tell Sabo is protect the poneglyphs, hoist the flag of dawn for the world. Sincerely, Nefertari D. Lily, finishing up the message Lily had for Alabasta. And he gets up one last time before a third arrow heads his way, and then we cut to him being dead on the floor. While the loss of Cobra is indeed tragic and a cause for mourning, there is a glimmer of excitement and anticipation in the air. With Sabo now possessing a crucial piece of information, it seems almost inevitable that he will soon share it with Vivi and Luffy when they are reunited. And with Vivi's limited options for safe harbor, the idea of her rejoining the Straw Hats becomes all the more exciting. The idea of seeing Vivi once again fighting alongside the Straw Hats while also uncovering the mystery of the D is enough to make any fan's heart race with excitement, unless you're just a Vivi hater. And no, she doesn't have to be crazy strong just to join the Straw Hats if that's what you're going to complain about. It's not necessary, but it would be pleasant to know that maybe she's been doing some secret training to ensure that she can protect herself. Additionally, there may be another character who could have already shared this information with Vivi, but I'll get into that in a moment. There is one aspect worth noting regarding Cobra's passing. If the Nefertari family is indeed linked to the D clan and Cobra himself is a D, then it begs the question, why did he not die with the same serene smile that we have seen from the other D characters in the story? This curious deviation could suggest that Cobra had something more to say or do before his final moments. Perhaps he had a message for the Gorosei or some other unfinished business that prevented him from passing on with the same sense of acceptance and peace as others of the D lineage. The possibilities are endless, adding yet another layer of mystery and intrigue to the story. Or maybe I'm just overthinking that and his death was just too graphic to show and that was the end of it. As the events unfolded, it seemed that there was no more witnesses left to testify. However, just as the situation reached its climax, a most unexpected witness emerged from the shadows, having witnessed everything from behind the scenes. IMU'S sharp eye spotted a nosy motherfucker peering through a hole in the wall, and upon closer inspection, it was revealed to be none other than fucking Wapol himself. I'm not gonna even lie. It's perplexing how Wapol was able to eavesdrop on such a highly confidential conversation, especially considering that it took place in what is supposed to be the most secure room in the world. The fact that he was able to do so highlights a severe flaw in the security measures put into place by the Gorosei and IMU. Security is lacking. Fire them all. I mean, come on, Wapol? However, this does explain why Wapol was so freaked out on the ship with Morgans and Vivi, and why he was on the run too. It's all making sense now. To add to the craziness, there's a possibility that Wapol might have shared the message Sabo had for Vivi and Luffy with Vivi already. And if that's the case, there's no doubt that this news would be the biggest scoop that Morgans has ever come across. However, it's hard to say whether Morgans would take the risk of printing such sensitive information in a newspaper, considering the potential consequences if the world government found out. It's unlikely that he would want to risk being targeted by the world government, so it's unclear if he would choose to exploit this information if Wapol did in fact squeal. Wapol, you damn rat! One of the reasons I admire Oda's storytelling is his ability to tie up loose ends and provide a seamless flow of events. We even get to witness the events that led to Vivi and Wapol traveling together, which is a testament to Oda's attention to detail and dedication to providing readers with a complete picture of the story. In a highly tense situation, Vivi finds herself bound to a chair within the confines of Pangea Castle, with members of CP0 keeping a watchful eye over her. To make matters worse, her captors include none other than Robin's own brother, Jabra, and Khalifa, and you see the rest of the crew there. For those wondering about the reason behind Vivi's capture by CP0, it's likely due to her father's decision to call for the meeting with the Gorosei. As one of the few kingdoms that disassociated themselves from the Holy Land, it's not surprising that CP0 had their suspicions about King Cobra, deeming him a potential threat to their plans, especially when he said he wanted to have a conversation with them. Unfortunately, their suspicions proved correct to them, and they apprehended Vivi as a precautionary measure in case they needed to execute her after her father or make her disappear like Lily. I'm doing air quotes for disappear just so you guys know. Here, let me just throw it up on the screen. Disappear like Lily. In a bold move, Vivi refuses to be intimidated and demands her release, threatening to reveal the truth of what transpired if her captors refuse to comply. That's my princess for real. Her concern for the safety of Shirahoshi is evident as she seeks confirmation of the mermaid prince's well-being, even in the face of her own dire situation. To her relief, CP0 confirms that Shirahoshi is indeed safe thanks to the efforts of Luffy's loyal underlings who had bravely came to her rescue and proudly declared their affiliation. The unwavering loyalty and fearlessness displayed by Leo and Sai is truly inspiring. Despite being in the sacred and holy lands, they boldly and proudly represent Luffy and his fleet, earning my utmost respect and admiration for them. Like, they keeping that shit real as fuck. They're gonna rep no matter what. It don't matter that they're in the Holy Land. I just love to see it. The already out-of-control events at the Reverie took an unexpected turn as a heated altercation erupted between the powerful admirals, Green Bull and Fujitora. The root cause of their argument was Fujitora's decision to allow a considerable number of slaves to escape. The same slaves that have been liberated by the Revolutionary Army. Green Bull was visibly outraged by Fujitora's actions as he saw it as a gross violation of their duties as Marines. I am so glad that there are individuals like Fujitora within the world government who remain steadfast in their commitment to justice and refuse to be swayed by the organization's influence. His unwavering dedication to doing what is right is what makes me love his character, and it totally has nothing to do with his awesome devil fruit powers. The world government is really a huge L for this. The world government's handling of the reverie was nothing short of a failure. To recount the events, one of the government's own admirals allowed for the escape of slaves, who had been freed by their enemies, the revolutionaries. Furthermore, Sabo, who holds critical information, managed to escape and witness the appearance of Im, as well as see the transformation of both Im and the Gorosei. To add insult to injury, even Wapol witnessed the same events. The world government's string of failures continued within the next set of events. In a panic, Wapol recklessly burst through a wall while fleeing, and Vivi seized the opportunity by leaping into his mouth and escaping undetected for a moment. This all took place while CP0, one of the most elite groups within the world government, was tasked with overseeing Vivi's capture. It is a testament to their incompetence that they failed to keep watch over their already captured princess. Holy L! And the chapter ends there. This chapter was just breathtaking and we saw so much, and this chapter leads to a ton of possibilities. If Morgans ends up telling the world about Im's existence, will Im retaliate and start destroying a ton of islands and start a mass genocide?
Did you guys say mass genocide?
Luffy and Vivi are about to find out more on the D. Not that Luffy will really care though, right? To all those who doubt Sabo's abilities, it's time to acknowledge his remarkable skills. Knock that shit off. Not only did he manage to escape on his own, but he also obtained crucial information about the world government in the process. Sabo eluded the terrifying Im and Gorosei, who were wielding their crazy powers at the time. His escape is a testament to his resilience and resourcefulness. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it's truly astonishing to witness the disrespect towards Sabo over the years by some of y'all in the community. Let's not forget that he is the esteemed chief of staff of the Revolutionary Army, trained personally by the legendary Monkey D. Dragon himself. Sabo holds the position of the second in command within the Revolutionaries. Sabo is him. I'm gonna end it right here. Thanks for watching this video about One Piece. I hope you had as much fun watching it as I did making it. Remember, One Piece isn't just a story. It's a way of life, so keep sailing with the Straw Hats, keep exploring the Grand Line, and keep dreaming of the ultimate treasure. And if you see Buggy the Clown along the way, tell him I said what up. Don't forget to like, comment, sub, all that good stuff to get One Piece content and more, and I'll catch you guys on the next adventure.